we can, look, we could I mean, we can go so many different ways, but okay, let's start. First of all, let me ask you, how's Aunt Daisy? Let's give Aunt Daisy a plug right fast.
Aunt Daisy's on her way back from New Jersey.
Wow.
She's getting ready for her other man, the weekend.
Oh.
Boyfriend that she has. She has them on rotation. Right? She has a Monday, Wednesday, Tuesday, Thursday. She has a weekend guy, so 3 boyfriends.
Right. So she rotating like Throwback Thursdays then.
You know what I mean? She's on heavy rotation. I really I hope I have that much energy at 80.
Yeah.
She's inspiring for sure.
No doubt. Now, okay. First, let's kind of get into look. Let's start with the Nikki Clarke Network first, and just what's been going on. Yeah, and then we'll kind of trickle down. We'll kind of try to trickle down from there with so much you got going on. But talk to the people a little bit about the Nikki Clarke Network for those who don't know, and just what inspired you to start that and when.
That's a very good question, and many people have been asking me that question, and I guess it stems from just dissatisfaction from what I was seeing on mainstream TV.
Right.
Just going through some of I mean, there's some great shows, don't get me wrong, but generally what I was seeing was more of a negative nature than positive, that I wasn't feeling very inspired. I was feeling kind of, depressed after some of the images and some of the messages that I, observed. Right. So I said, let me see if I can develop a model where the programs would be selected for their variety and for their inspirational topics.
Right.
Ranging from, everything under the sun.
Right.
And so I looked at some models that existed, some online TV networks that existed, and I took from the strengths of what I saw, and I started to develop my own online TV network. Last May is when I launched it with my own feminine energy. So when you go on the Nikki Clarke Network, I deliberately chose pink and purple as my base colors, right, because I wanted people to know that it was a feminine energy behind the scenes, behind what was in the development.
Right.
And I do that deliberately because typically with feminine energy, there's a nurturing involved, and that's what I do with the production.
Right, and so, sorry, excuse me, sorry, and like you say, it kind of tones down a bit of, not just the negative energy, but just so much, I guess, of the barbarism that kind of goes on.
Right, that's correct, and the tone is clarity. If you look at the website, it's not cluttered. I keep it clean. I keep it professional and easy to maneuver.
Right.
And I think people need that. I mean, I'm using myself, as I go along with this model on what I would like to look at when I visit a site.
Right.
And then it was a matter of finding people who wanted to launch their shows.
Right. Right. And you know what? And like she says, people, as soon as you get a chance, make sure you go check it out, because listen, it's also user friendly, which is one thing I loved about it, because a lot of times, for all the listeners out there, you go to these websites sometimes and it's confusing,
Yeah.
it really is. But
yeah, and it's smartphone friendly too, so it's adaptable to your phone.
Oh, yeah, you know what it is? That's a big deal. Because a lot of times you can't see everything on the screen, and it's just bananas, right? Now, you having shows in the past, because you've had other shows, The Beat Goes On, different shows like that. Do you feel like your experience in this industry helped you at as far as knowing what people wanted to see?
Well, yeah, it was basically trial and error, and again, I just put out something based on my own personal needs. With And the Beat Goes On, the idea was to showcase artists and give them the opportunity to perform live and also to give them an interview. So it's basically to launch them into the stratosphere, all the upcoming artists. And there's so many. There's so much talent in Toronto. So this is what I created for them to have a platform to be seen. And I did it as kind of my own selfish, wanting to be entertained and to do something on a Saturday. It really started off as a hobby, Keith. And then all of a sudden I was getting hit up from the States, from Europe, from places in the Caribbean. They heard about And the Beat Goes On, and they wanted to come on the show to be interviewed because they liked the style of the show and they liked the integrity that I had with the way I was interviewing. I thought, wow, this little idea is growing.
And like you say, too, it really gave an opportunity for a lot of people to be seen, Nikki.
Yeah.
Like that.
Yeah, have you heard of The Weeknd?
Yeah, of course.
He was on my show.
What?
So back then he was able, but no, he was one of the first people I interviewed.
Wow.
It's just amazing how I've seen people grow so much over the years, and I mean I can't take all the credit, but it's nice to know that there was an early association with And the Beat Goes On and how well they're doing now.
It was, because that show used to be live. I mean, the studio audience was in the building and everything.
It was really live, like no editing, no filters, and that was the beauty of it because it was real.
You know what? Sorry, go ahead. You know what? Wow. And I'm getting ready to say something right here, and this is really holds a bit of historic value because, I mean, I'm not shooting my age out there, but, I've seen the times change, okay? And you know what? All of a sudden, in my mind, when I just pictured you up there on And the Beat Goes On, I saw, the original version of, Canadian Idol. Seriously, I'm not joking. I really mean that because, and for people who know, for people who have some time under their belt, and I'm talking about real music heads, people who've seen music change, people who've, seen maybe one or two generations that have changed. Honestly, I don't remember, and there may have been some somewhere, but I really don't remember. I can't think of personally, and definitely not in Canada, and I almost can't think of in America. I did not see too many shows, Nikki, where people had the performers come on and give a performance for everybody. Now, of course, you guys weren't judging. It was more like, more like an exposure thing. But just the whole setup. I mean, you sitting behind the desk, the big table like that. You know what I mean? Yeah, that really was kind of like an original.
That was fun.
Yeah, that was really like an original state for me. And that just kind of came to my mind. I'm like, you know what? I think about these shows nowadays. I kind of remember seeing And the Beat Goes On really was doing that first. Like I say, it's just that you weren't judging. But wow, that's OG. Look, Nikki, that's OG status right there.
Well, I'll take it. Thank you. Yeah, that was so much fun. I remember just, that really made for a great weekend. So I usually tape on the Saturday evening. So Saturday evening we tape and then hang out after and talk some more after the interviews and really get to connect with the artists, and it was a wonderful time. But as everything happens in life, things change, and I went through a personal journey, and I really loved doing And the Beat Goes On, but I felt that the show needed to change a little bit in terms of its direction, and I wanted it to be more inclusive of everybody. Not just artists, but community leaders, business people, every walk of life who had people who had a walk of who had a story inside them, that they would have a safe, positive place to share that story. So the premise of the show changed a little, and also the name changed to the Nikki Clarke Show.
Right.
And someone told me to change the name to include me, to put my face in front instead of a beat. And I said, okay, let's try it. And that was born October 2012, and that's been growing exponentially. I just tried it, and it's really meeting a community need. I am so blessed to be part of this movement. People needed a place to talk, and I do it in front of a live audience. So I love that part of it because of the energy that I feed off from the audience members, and they love being a part of it because they get to witness the whole, the mechanics of taping a live show, and they also get to learn and be inspired by these people who are brave enough to come and share their stories. So they talk about not only their accomplishments, but they talk about some of the challenges that they had to go through to get there. And everybody has a story, and it's just about being, authentic and also being courageous about sharing it.
Yeah.
So that is what the show has become, and now I have satellites. I'm taping in Montreal and New York City because I need to reach those people who want to share their story, and I feel there are more places that I need to visit with people with their journeys that they want to share.
Right, and like you say, people. Just to kind of go back on what you said too, it gives the audience and the viewers a chance to really feel a part of what is going on, and that's important because it also takes it from just that whole media TV level to a inside feeling because it involves
it is an inside feeling, definitely.
Right.
Yeah.
And
right.
Go ahead.
And no, I was going to say it's a place where people feel that they can connect. And people want to feel connected. In a big city like Toronto, they want to come and they want to be in a room full of synergy.
Yeah.
And that's the beauty of it, because what I'm hearing now is the taping is wonderful. They're enjoying that, but the after taping experience is what they're really loving. The networking, they're building great friendships and also business relationships, which is something I didn't plan, but is actually a wonderful after effect. You know what I mean?
Right, because what I assume you're saying about it is that after the taping, people just kind of get to mingle and just chat with each other and listen.
Exactly.
And I know there's times where you guys are singing on the show and everything else, right?
I sing every show now. Someone told me to have like a signature type of thing. Carol Burnett, remember the Carol Burnett show? She had her little comedy bit, or every person in showbiz has their little thing. So what I do is I set up the show with a song, and I think it really sets the tone, and people are, they're tuning in, they're energized, they're focused.
Right.
And then we have a really amazing show after that.
Right, and it lightens, it lightens the mood also.
It does.
You know what I mean? What else I think is really amazing about what you're doing is, as well as those everyday topics that people like to talk about, just things that people might go through, in it. Listen, because on your show, I know you've had people that women that come on and talk about that help each other out with situation of being abused, a lot of different personal topics, but as well the business connections, as you say. Listen, you've got entrepreneurs on your show, you've got real estate investors, you're going down the line, so it also gives people people never know what they're going to leave your show and be able to take home with them, and the next week or the next month from now be able to make a life-changing decision.
No, you're so right. I mean, the variety that I put into production is on purpose, and it really is to fit everyone's taste. So we are a part of a diverse nation, in Canada. So I have to be the mirror of that and give them information, give them people who are a reflection of their diversity. So, for example, last week Wednesday, I had a chef, Rachel Gallia, who gave everyone bison stew, a sample of bison stew. Her specialty is wild game, high-end meat. Yeah, so ostrich. She focuses on bison, ostrich, venison. It's all like hormone-free, antibiotics-free, and everyone got to taste it. And then I had another author who wrote a book about sex addiction. So it's like a one swing to the next, but it keeps everyone because
Right.
it's so different. Yeah.
Right. And kind of like you say, the way you carry your show, nothing works out to be too heavy, because it's not like, if you're talking about sex addiction, it's not overboard with the way you guys talk about it. It's
No.
real, it's grown up, but at the same time, it's friendly. No one has to be ashamed.
No. And then my personality, I keep it kind of funny too.
Oh, I know you do.
And I keep the guests comfortable, and
you stay.
They can open up when they feel that they are being respected in a non-judgmental place.
You know what? You stay with a punchline. I gotta ask you on this show right here. Have you ever done comedy?
No, but my parents are very funny people. They should have actually gone into stand-up together.
Oh,
so
wow.
I think I learned their comedic timing, and just to be quick on my feet.
Right. Now, just talking about some of the different roles that you play community, but with children as well. Because we definitely got to talk about that. I mean, you've done mentoring programs as well. Talk a little bit about that.
Yes, I have a mentoring program for youth 12 to 16. It's called Clarke Media Arts Program, and I launched this last summer to give children who are interested in a career path in video production that opportunity to see how it works. So the model is a combination of teaching them how to write a script, how to edit, and at the end of the classroom time together, they are asked to create their own video production. So I bring in my camera team, and they would be taped, and we edit the show for them and then put it up on the Nikki Clarke Network. So if you go to Nikki Clarke Network under Clarke Media Arts, you'll see all the past episodes of the children's work. So I didn't have any involvement. They directed it. They wrote the script. All we did was film and help them edit.
Hey, look, and to all y'all big producers and directors and everybody out there that listens to the show, you know what I'm saying? Listen, also I want you guys to know, if you need, because look at that right there. Listen, Nikki's plugging in the children and have the children on set learning about this media stuff. And there's people out there.
It's free. It's free too.
Wow, that's a big deal. So, to a lot of people out there, if you, as well, if you're looking for a good show to put together, or, a good show to put together for a major network or something like that, listen, make sure you pick up some of these kids, find, go to the website, look at what they're doing. You know what I mean? And, because Nikki, you're teaching, you're doing some heavy teaching on that right there. That's a big deal.
Yeah. I want to give them a chance to create, and I'm seeing, in the schools, they're scrapping a lot of arts programs, and video production is another media art,
right?
And they need to be encouraged to create. There's so much programming, and there's so much involved in how do I say it? Streamlining how they learn, that creativity is almost like not even available in the classroom anymore. So what I'm trying to do is to give them an opportunity to think on their own, and this is something that will transcend in their life, is to be able to create. If you can create, you can solve your own problems.
Yeah.
And also with the whole thing of working in a team, I want them to be able to use interpersonal communication skills to work with other people, and this they can take as a life skill. You know what I mean? So they're learning how to work together. They're learning how to create, and as a result of that, they produce quality work. But to me, the long term of this is to really have these life skills that they can use in any area of life.
Right, and I bet the parents, I bet the parents are really, commending you on this as well. Like, what's some of the reactions from the parents?
Well, they're really proud of the work that their children have done. Some parents are absolutely amazed that their shy child came out on camera like that.
Right.
Because the whole thing is to really get some of them to come out of the shell. The introverted children. I really encourage them to come out of themselves and to give it a shot and to shine in front of the camera. So that took a lot of coaching, but it worked.
Right.
And when they saw it happening, they were completely amazed, and it gave the children a lot of confidence.
Right.
As well, to even entertain the idea of doing something on camera, and not like something behind the scenes. So it was a shift for them. So it's really an amazing transformation for those types of children. And then the people who are involved in like the administrative part of helping me put this program together, they were just amazed by the community's reactions, very, very positive. And I actually had a politician who heard about the program, and she contacted me out of City Hall in Toronto, and she wants the children to be part of the launching of a park named after William Hubbard, who was the first black politician in Toronto. So that will be happening later on this year. So the children are going to be invited to be part of the festivities. Oh,
wow. Making moves. Look, y'all, they need to start Nikki Clarke Middle School. Oh, wait, I forgot, because you guys call it something different up there. It might not. I don't think it's middle school up there. I believe.
Yeah, they have a middle school.
Okay, so it's middle school, because I know they got the secondary school and all those different types of things.
Yeah, they have middle school.
Right. Sure. Now, okay. Now, listen, and for a lot of people, as you watch the advertisement, of course, I'll call Nikki Clarke the award-winning, also Nikki Clarke. Not just this past week, as a matter of fact, she received a Lifetime Achievement Award as well.
Thank you.
Hey, absolutely. Keith Harris style and Hotline Radio style. Now, listen, Nikki, do you want to make this huge announcement?
I'm sure. I'd be happy to do it.
Thank you, because I want you to listen. Yeah, because I want to get it out you. I want to go ahead.
Okay. Well, last week Friday, I got a call from Pauline Christian, who is the president of the Black Business Professional Association, and she told me that I was one of the recipients of the Woman of Honor Award for 2015. And I was doing my pedicure and almost dropped the phone in the water. Yes, I was in complete shock, but so humbled and honored for this award. And I am in the company of some great women. Some, like, just to give you an example, the Honorable Gina Gustin was a Woman of Honor. She spent a lot of time in Parliament and helping to put together things like the Black History Month.
Right.
She was instrumental in that, so she was honored with the same thing. And then we have some TV personalities like Tracy Moore on City Line. She was given the award.
Wow.
And Marcia Ian of Canada AM on CTV. She was given the award. These are the women who are in my company. Wow. It's mind blowing. So the award ceremony is next week, Wednesday, April 1st, and I'm on cloud 9. I'm so happy. Listen.
Look, we're happy for you, and kudos. We congratulate you. And you know what? I have to ask this question. When you're doing, when you're making all of these powerful movements, I'll call them powerful movements right now. To you, this is just what you do. But with receiving it and being recognized like this, I have to ask you the whole time. Listen, Nikki, what is your drive? I mean, because listen, you've done so many things, and they're community driven, and the sincerity is always behind it. You put a lot of hard work in. That a lot of people don't get to see. So I have to ask you. When you're working up to this point, to be recognized like this, did at any point in time, did you ever see it coming, or?
No, and in all sincerity, I don't do it for recognition.
Right.
I don't do it for credit. I do it because it's right, the right thing to do, and it makes me feel good, and I do it for the people.
And that's what I was.
For the people.
And that's what I was going to say to you. To be able to do all of this, and it must be something that just comes out of you from the inside, because we're not just talking about one scenario where you give something back. I won't even use the term help out, but when you give something back genuinely to the community, and that's got to be something that comes from deep inside and that you love to do.
It's who I am. I think we had this discussion before. and I've been serving the community since I was 5.
Wow.
And I look up to parents who are community members, and they're always out and they're always helping, and they're very charitable people. So naturally, they develop someone like me, who was put out there. My father told me this when I was very young. He said, you have to talk to people first, because people are going to be shy. People are naturally going to be, hesitant to talk to you. So you always make the first move. So I'm like, okay. So that stayed with me my whole life, and I've always been the type to initiate conversation, to be friendly, to, find out what's going on with that person, and that's just who I am. And I build real relationships that way.
I have to ask you this question, Nikki. Without giving too much away your personal life, what was it like? What was it like for you growing up? Because a lot of people, listen, I'm sure you didn't have. I'm sure you didn't have a. Well, I don't know, but I'm sure you didn't have a bad life. But at the same time, you have growing up. You must have went through things that just gave you a genuine, honest, like love personality for life and wanting to see things change. So,
my early years were a little rough.
Okay.
Not to do with anything in my home, but in my environment was a little bit challenging for me, because my parents moved from Jamaica to Montreal in 1970.
Right.
And they brought their little 3-year-old with them, me, in an all French neighborhood.
Wow.
So we were the only black people there. And we were the only English people there.
That could be difficult.
You can imagine that was difficult.
Yeah.
And then there was the element of racism that I had to deal with. I was bullied. I was, I walked down the street and a little 4-year-old getting spit on.
Man. Wow.
Called the N-word, chased. I was kind of very strong and that, but it's a little bit bewildering for a child to understand what racism is.
Right.
Especially I'm a pretty happy-go-lucky, positive person. My parents were very loving. To explain this to a 4-year-old, why a child won't sit beside you in school, or why you're being spit on, or call all these names. It's very painful for a parent. So that early reflection, made me the person that I am now, that truly embraces diversity, because I use that experience to really be open to other people who are different. Being different is wonderful, and I teach that in my classrooms, and I guess I teach that indirectly in my interactions with people. It's okay to be different, and I accept everybody.
Right, and
that's why I do it in my show. Everyone's different on my show. No one is of the same community. Everybody's different, because that's what the real world is.
Yeah, and I think that's something else that make people sort of gravitate to your show, and just your whole movement is that it is inclusive of everybody. There's a lesson there's a lesson for for everyone to learn, and there's just no hate, and that's the beautiful part about it. It's all about progression.
It really is. It really is, and I think it just takes honest dialogue to uncover what people are confused about, or what they've heard, or just misconceptions can simply be revealed if we just talk instead of talking behind people, talking around people, or dancing through issues. Why don't we just talk? Real talk.
Right. Yeah,
so that's what I'm trying to do.
And I have to ask this question, and this is different than what you do, but I have to ask this question because, listen, you've been in front or behind the camera forever now. So I've got to go here with you on this one. Can you ever see yourself doing any acting? Other than what? But let me stop, because you actually already do. You actually already do, and I gotta know that. But can you see yourself delving into that? Is that something that you would think about doing someday?
I would love to have that opportunity, actually. I did a little acting as a child. Actually, my first acting gig, I was 5 years old, and I was Santa's elf.
Oh, okay.
And I had to dance in front of everybody, you know. But I think that's something I'd like to do, and I like to do something out of my character. I want to play like a bad girl, like, you know, totally badass. That would be wonderful for me.
Yeah, with the whole Nikki Clarke stance.
The whole Nikki Clarke, you know, gangster stance, and you know, all black leather suits, kind of like, you know, Halle Berry and that Catwoman thing. Yeah, that's what I'm envisioning for me with big hair. You
gonna hurt somebody now with them black suits on.
So if anyone out there has a role for me, I would so love that, and I can do different voices too. I have a variety of voices that I've been able to collect over the years. No, I don't hear voices. I do voices. I can do Jamaican. I can do, you know, different dialects in the States. It's pretty open. Yeah. I've been able to work on those over the years.
Right.
I just do it for fun, and I made my friends and family like, where did that come from? But I don't know. That's just part of my creativity.
Right, Nikki. Listen, Nikki can definitely shock you guys. Like, you know, because there's that business side. You know, there's that businesswoman side, and then there's that other side too. You'd be like, wait a minute, I didn't even know.
Very playful.
Right.
I'm very goofy, actually. If you know me.
Right. Because I've had people contact me and be like, who is, like, and I won't give away the roles, but I've had some people contact me before and be like, who is that, or who was that? And I know the whole time. Exactly. I know the whole time who it is. I'll never. Hey, that's who you heard. So, right. Listen. Before we get ready to go, a few questions. First of all, what events are coming up for anybody who's in Toronto or going to be in Toronto or anything like that? They need to go check you out. For instance, when you're accepting your award, just what different things are coming up?
Well, April 1st, if you're in Toronto and you'd like to come down to the Woman of Honor ceremony, that's going to be 7 o'clock, April 1st. That's April Fool's Day, but it's actually a real ceremony and not a prank. And the tickets are $20 to $30, and it's at the First Canadian Place on Adelaide Street West. And then if you want to stay for a Nikki Clarke Show taping, it's April 8th at 8 o'clock at the White Elephant, which is 366 Queen Street East.
Oh, wow. April 8th? That's a big day.
It's free. No charge for that.
You know, that is two amazing things going on that day. Nikki, you're taping on my birthday.
Is that your birthday?
Yep.
That's my mother's birthday.
What? Look.
You're an Aries.
Yes, I am.
Very cool.
That's
Good
amazing.
people.
Absolutely. Now, also, let everybody know the websites and the YouTube page and everything to go check out all the segments and things of that nature, and people in Toronto where they can watch the show.
For sure. Everything you want to know is on the Nikki Clarke Network page. The icons for Twitter, LinkedIn, Facebook, it's all located there. And you can see all the episodes of the Nikki Clarke Show and all the other shows that we have produced, all there. And then there's a page for upcoming events. You can click on that, and it's all nicely organized throughout the months and weeks, forecasting events that you can check out in the city.
Right. And don't forget about Throwback Thursdays.
You've got to be on Throwback Thursday every Thursday on the 7th.
That's right. It's going down every Thursday. Look, Nikki, you know, I say this to you. I mean, it's always, look, shoot, I don't even know how to say it because we talk a lot. But look, thank you for coming on the show. You know,
you're more than welcome. Thank you for this opportunity.
Right, it's been an honor to have you on. What are you doing? What are you doing when you get ready to go? You busy? You get ready to get a chance to relax, or?
Yeah, I'm about to relax tonight. I'm going to hang out with some girlfriends of mine, and we're going to do it up. We're going to go to a little dancing.
Oh, that's right. It is Friday.
It is Friday
in Toronto.
Yes, it is. It sure is. So at the end of the week, it's a good time to just, you know, be goofy. Yeah.
Exactly. All right, look, listen, Nikki. I love you. It's been wonderful having you. I'll be talking to you. I'll be talking to you a little later on. You have fun out there. Look, everybody out there, in case you're just tuning in or you missed some of it, don't forget this conversation with Toronto's Queen of Talk Show, Nikki Clarke, and myself will be posted on social media shortly. So check it out. Nikki, thank you for coming through, and I'll be talking to you soon. And listen, congratulations on that award. Congratulations on both awards, as a matter of fact. Keep doing your thing, Nikki.
Thank you very much. And can I tell you something else?
Yes.
Just between the two of us and 8 million other people.
Right.
I got another nomination.
What?
This week.
Why you wait so long to tell me that? Go ahead, girl. Tell us about it.
I got another nomination. I wanted to leave it for today. I have been nominated for 100 Black women to watch in Canada.
Man. And knowing, look, and I'm about to make somebody mad because you should have been top 5. But okay.
That's funny. I think it's picking up. The announcement will be in the next 2 weeks, and the ceremony is May 23rd.
Oh, wow.
In Toronto, so we'll see what happens with that. I'm just like, I'm over the moon. It's just so nice.
Look,
thank you very much for all the nominations and the love. I do appreciate it. And I'll be all back.
Listen, nothing short of deserving in everybody's eyes, I'm sure. You deserve all of it. And there's so much more to come, I know.
Thank you.
All right, listen, Nikki, take care. And we'll be talking to you soon. I'll talk to you a little later. I'll check to see how you're doing.
All right. Thanks a lot, Keith.
All right. Bye-bye, Nikki.
Bye, everybody. Okay, talk to you soon. Bye-bye.
Everybody out there all across the land, that was the wonderful Nikki Clarke, Toronto's Queen of Talk Show, right here on the D.M.V.KeithHarris Show. Make sure you check her out. Go to the website, the Nikki Clarke Network. Check out all the shows coming up, all the different things happening, and everything like that. Very, very honored to have her on the show today. It's always wonderful to speak to my good friend Nikki. All right, so you've been listening to the D.M.V.KeithHarris Show. It's been another wonderful day. It's been a blast.